This week on Sundays with Sully, we are going widescreen. We are checking out Garmin's latest, the 1543 XSV. What is it? Well, stay tuned, guys. Let's go dig in. Good, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Sundays with Sully. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that like button on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen to stay up to date and in the know the latest happenings in the marine industries, and also to be notified when we have new episodes coming out. Now, it is most Sundays at 10 a.m., but we've also got a lot of build videos and a lot of other cool stuff. So go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a dime, helps us out a ton. All right, what are we talking about today, guys? Like I said in the intro, we are digging into the Garmin 1543 XSV model. That's this guy right here. This guy, if you take a look at it, is a widescreen model. We're going to flip it around and show you that in a second. This is not to be confused with the 1643. This is a lower profile mount. Maybe you were looking at doing a pair of 9s, or maybe, you couldn't fit a pair of 12s, and pair of 9s, it left you wanting for a little bit more. That's where this guy is going to come in. This is their 3X series or X3 series or whatever the heck it is they call it. And this guy is going to fit in line and do everything that those other 3Xs do, or X3s, sorry guys. This has got everything you want to know about it. We've got a power hookup right here. We have our analog video hookup. We have sonar, because this is an XSV. Sonar is built into this one. We have a single channel. It also does come with the orange to blue adapter. So that's the 12 to 8 pin adapter. So if you are running the old blue style transducer, plug that adapter in, plug that into here, you're ready to rip and ready to rock and roll. Next one over here, it does have the micro USB port right here, so we have that functionality as well. And then the next two are NEMA 2000 and J1939. NEMA 2000, that's all of our numerical data, GPS antennas, depth, all that kind of stuff. That's all going on here. 1939, that's going to be your engine data. If you're running a Merc, you're still going to need a Merc gateway, things like that. But this does support J1939 data. And then what it is important to note on this, guys, is right here. We have 2 network ports. This is actually great if you want to go ahead and plug a radar in and then have this go to the hub or do something else. You have 2 ports on here. But note, guys, these are the old style ports. These are not blue net ports. So if you are doing this and you're bringing this into the mix, maybe you got some 9200s and you want to have this somewhere after I show you guys the features of it, just be mindful of that. You're going to need the adapter cable for that. And then right up here, we have our built-in card slot. That is dual card slot right there. So you can go ahead and drop in your active captain card and your chart card as well. So let's go ahead, let's flip this thing around. As we're bringing it around, notice here, guys, pretty slim profile when we're talking about this thing. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more here in a second, but this can be gimbal mounted. But this is important to also note if you are going to want to flush mount this into a dash. Why is that important, guys? Well, let's rip the fenders off this bad Larry. Right here, it's a little blue fenders off of it. And you're going to notice there is no trim ring on this. This is straight glass to the edge. So if you were used to before, we would mount this, we would screw in from the front. You can't do that with this. You're going to be using one of these bad Larrys. Not a fan. Really wish we had a trim on here, but I get it. Certain application, horses for courses. You're going to go ahead and mount this guy onto the side of the unit, and then you've got the adjustable plunger depth here to mount it in. So this is going to go into the MFD right here, and then you're just going to use these thumb screws right here and wing nut to lock this thing and get it nice, tight, and in place. So keep that in mind if you are looking to plan for your installs. You are going to need access to the back of the MFD to get these on, but they are included. So that's what we've got going on here. Glass edge, looks very much like all the other things in the Garmin world. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is, this all looks cool, but what really makes this thing shine is we go ahead and bring this online. So now I'm going to go ahead, get power up to it, and get things set up. Normally at this point in time, guys, I would do a screen grab and show you guys kind of what it is we are looking at and working with. In this case, guys, I think it's going to be way cooler and way slicker to show you guys what it looks like on this screen. So hopefully if I get everything all edited up and slicked out here, I will control it from my iPad once this thing gets booted up and get this thing rolling here. So let's see what we've got to work with, guys. Now, once we've gone ahead, we've hit the I agree, I've put this thing into simulator mode here so we can really start to showcase. Now, as you can see on the screen right here, looks really slick. We've got a nice wide view of it. I'm going to go ahead and drive from the iPad here, but one of the quick features you'll notice right out of the gate here is the home menu now is on our sidebar. So no longer across the bottom. All the functions you're used to on the bottom are now on the side, but only for this display, guys. So we've got that set up there. And one of the cool things I noticed right out of the gate, having that home bar there, having this widescreen, even if you're going to use a bunch of stuff, the toolbars become really, really slick. Now the toolbars, if you're not familiar, that's all the kind of data we can pop up all around the screen on the four sides, basically. And we can come in here if we want to do our engine data, and we want to go ahead and let's push that over to the left-hand side. I haven't given up a ton of chart data, but now I've got my engine information right there. And then let's say, you know what, a real popular one for a lot of people to do is to do media, because I want to have my stereo. So we can populate that down there. And then let's just say for giggles here, let's do our autopilot and put that up top. I still have a ton of chart space. Normally this would have just crowded in the whole chart space on here, but with this widescreen, I now have all of this information at hand, which is pretty darn slick if you ask me. So you've got that, and again, this is a form factor. Like I said, guys, this is going to fit certain applications really well. I think that's looking at your lake boats, your pontoon boats, somewhere that you don't necessarily have the height, but you have the width to go ahead and slam this in. But let's go through this, guys. We can take a look here. All of this is very familiar. We go under our charts, we can scroll up, and you see we have all of the available options. If we're doing serious weather, we can get our rain, fishing, all of that kind of stuff. Same thing again, we can come in here, we can get all of our radar. Sonar, guys, this is where things really start to get pretty slick. Now, again, I'm just going to show you. We have all of our different options because we are sitting in demo mode. But now look at this when I put this into triple beam. If you've watched any of our previous episodes with Sundays with Sully talking about the PS70 and having that wide beam angle, well, now I'm parsing that data. I got my left, center, and right beam right on there, and I've got it really clean, slick right across the screen for us right here. So we've got that. But now, guys, combos is where this thing really, really starts to shine, having a widescreen, personally, I think. If we go into combos, we scroll down here, I'm going to make a new combo. And I'm going to choose my layout right here. So now I'm going to choose this one. And this one right here, I'm going to come to charts. I'm going to make that my fishing chart. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start choosing my sonar. I'm going to make that my port right there. And then I'm going to come over here and we're going to do center. And then we're going to do this and we're going to make that starboard. And I'm going to kind of scroll that selection up a little bit more. And then I got to name it. We're going to call it fishing. And we're going to say done. And we're going to say done. Now, guys, I've got my fishing chart. You could have your, bathy charts or whatever up on there. I've got my chart set up right here. I can go ahead and zoom in, and now I can look as again, we're in demo mode. Am I riding that contour line? What's happening? What kind of structure am I seeing out there? What kind of bottom am I seeing? What's in that column? And now I've got all of that, but it's still really easy to read on this wide screen right here. So that's just one of the things. Again, start dreaming up what you can do with these different combos here. You know, popular one if you're not a fisherman, but you're into cruising. This one's great because, again, I can have my fishing chart up here to see, and I have a historical of what's happening underneath my boat right there with the depth. And I've got a nice long history right there to show with that. And then we can come in here, we've got our other things, you know, we can bring up all of our other different options that we have, and gauges, and you can put your mercury info on here, and make this a full page for your for your Yamaha, whatever. So that, guys, is the Garmin 1543 XSV widescreen. It's a mouthful. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's going to fit a lot of applications really well and brings a lot of horsepower to the party and very simple, very easy to use. So, you want to know more about this unit? Leave it down below in the comments. I'll see if I can get it answered for you. If you get enough of the same comments or enough likes on a comment, we'll come back, we'll do another video, we'll go a little deeper dive showing you all about this. That's it. That's all I've got for this week's Sundays with Sully. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys again next week with something cool. Peace.